Naomi, hold on. You're running 7th, Gareth. Well done. Hello, welcome. Another Sunday, another Cookies Rambles. Beard's a little bit longer. I've been told I need to trim it today. And this week, bringing you from, again, another South Yorkshire Cross Country League. Not racing it, but I've run here, 15 mile to Sheffield again. Well, it's Rotherham actually, Winter Hill this one, for the race number 3, Naomi's second race in the series. Yeah, and I've run 15 mile again from home. It is actually 12 mile as the crow flies, but yeah, I've ended up making it 15. Some nice little trail paths and connecting footpaths all the way here. Yeah, and I thought it would be downhill again, but it's not. It's an uphill climb in the last mile and a half, coming up from where Meadowall is at Sheffield. Were quite a climb, but yeah, enjoyed it. So yeah, I'll be talking through my training week and a little bit else as I'm rambling along for another episode of Cookies Rambles. So I'm out the steamer car and I'm walking the cross-country course, and I've got my 2 dogs with me. One of them's got "I need space" lanyard on because apparently she's not in the mood today. Just realised that I missed Naomi running past up there, but I filmed her from a distance because thankfully iPhones have got a 9x zoom on them, which yeah, it looks alright. Might be a little bit blurry once it comes through. So lead women are just coming through now. Go on, Naomi. Well done, Naomi. Bessie, looking. Go on, Naomi. Slip and slide this bit. Well done. Started filming the video and then it's just rain, wet, cold, miserable. So I'll probably do this when I get home. So Naomi's just done cross country. What position were you, love? She was 6 or 7, she thinks. Did you have a good run?
Yeah, it felt really good. I was strong for the first like 3 miles and then maybe 3.5 miles, and then I just couldn't work the legs anymore. But happy with it. Why are you so close to my face all the time?
Wide angle lens.
It zooms in right on my nose.
So yeah, we're gonna head home. Cold, miserable. Got 2 very cold and muddy Dogs.
Bessie's done about 4 miles today.
Yeah, and Bessie's done 4 mile on the grass as well. So yeah, I'll catch you in a bit when we get home and dry. Home, dry, showered, napped a little bit, put friends on, and now filming Cookies Rambles. So yeah, we've started watching Friends from the start again, mainly inspired by, well, I say inspired, it's not. Matthew Perry, obviously Chandler passed away recently, so yeah, we're watching it due to that. Plus, I think I've watched it back to front about 1,000 times now. Sat on the sofa with the girls. Got a duvet down here. And Naomi's gone up to bed to put her phone on charge and lay down for a little bit because she's a bit tired as well. So yeah, week in training. And had some reflections earlier on my run through about running, not at altitude, but having elevation and hill training. And what actually that does to my body. So I did a bit of Googling and I'll try and talk through some of my findings as I delve further into the video. So yeah, week in training anyway. 14 mile Monday split across 2 runs. 10 mile in the morning with Kai and then 4 mile in the evening. Felt quite strong Monday. And then into Tuesday. So yeah, I had a speed session with a gang Tuesday night. I had a proper big squad turn up as well Tuesday night. I think there were about 18, 20 in us running the 2k loop around Ireland. In the morning, did 5k just nice and easy, getting the legs turning over just because I do my double days, and still sticking in with the same philosophy with that. And then in the evening, the session was I can't remember it now, 3k with a 1k float, and then 2k, 1k float, then 1k float times 2. Ended up being 14 mile session, so yeah, it was a big session. Had a good group to run with Birdie, Scott, Gary and Kai on the front. And then I think everyone that turned up to the session this Tuesday had someone to run with, and that's the aim. Because then you're training faster and you've got a little bit of company when you're trying to grind out your miles on your own, which is always good to see. There are a couple of people that came this week that haven't been in a while, and there are a couple of people as well that's never been before. So yeah, there's a group chat for the sessions growing. I think we've got about 40 people in it now, and we're trying to keep the people that are interested, and we know the people that are going to turn up week in, week out in that chat. So we're not being elitist, we're just being selective with it. And then Wednesday morning, Kai didn't run Wednesday morning. He ended up running in the afternoon. So I ran on my own Wednesday morning for 8 mile. And then in the evening, went out with Naomi. One of us, probably first time we've run together in a while. And did 6 mile in the evening. And then Thursday, kicked off Thursday with 9 mile in the morning. With Ruby and Kai Thursday. They were going to see McFly Thursday night. So Ruby and Kai both had the day off work. So went with them Thursday morning. And then Thursday evening, I thought, I'm going to do a hill session. And I love hill sessions. I enjoy the fact that you can run up them as quick as you can, even though it's not going to be absolute quickest because you're running uphill. Like, come on. But when you get to the top, you just slowly jog and let gravity do the work to bring you back down. And it's quite a good, little bit like interval training, fartlek training. So where we live, it's the Durham Valley. So Barnsley basically has got a valley, and a valley goes like a U-bend with a river dissecting straight through the valley. And we live like probably at the bottom of our street, probably about 400 metres that way is the bottom of the valley. And then about a mile in the other direction is the top. Well, it's not even the top of the valley. The highest point in town is where my mum and dad live. That's in the town centre. But then as you go out up towards Penistone, which is the Peak District pretty much, obviously you get higher up there. But in the town centre, the highest place is Lock Park Tower, for anyone that lives around here. And that's nearabouts where my mum and dad live. So when I run up to parkrun, it is all uphill. So yeah, anyway, I did a hill session for 5 mile, got about 800 foot of climb. So what I did is the next street on is it's about a third of a mile in length. So split it into 4 sections and did a short rep and then back down to the second point and then back down, which ended up being about 200 metres. And then about 320 metres-ish and back down, and then all the way to the top and back down. And just did it twice. In total, I ran about 1.1 mile of it being uphill. And then I did grade adjusted pace after on it, and it works out I did like a 4:52 minute mile if you were to do it completely on the flat. And then that's what came on to me thinking about what I'll talk about in a bit around running on the flat or running on the hills. So yeah, ended up doing 5 mile Thursday evening with a hill session. Enjoyed it. It was nice to get the legs turning over and against some sort of resistance and build some strength in them. Even though I run on the hills all the time, I just find it beneficial to do a hill session. And then Friday, woke up, planned to do 8 mile Friday morning. And then this one, Puppy, decided that she wanted to go out in the garden in the morning. I had to be in a work meeting at 9:30. She wanted to go out about 8:10. So we're already pushing it, but I know I can get an 8 mile run done in an hour. So yeah, put her out in the garden, then she went under the decking, and she didn't come back in until about 9:25. So yeah, definitely would have been pushing it to do an 8 mile run. She ended up in next door's garden, so I had to go around, knock on their door and say, can we just get us dog back, please? She's snuck in. So she found a gap in the fence and got into next door neighbour's garden. She were running around in there, and then she ended up coming back in through the gap in the fence after I'd gone around to try and get her and we had to tease her out with some chicken. That didn't work. She just snuck up on Naomi in garden, and we don't even know how she got out, to be honest. And then Naomi, by the time I got back from my run, so I ended up doing 6 mile in the morning. By the time I got back, Naomi had boarded up all the decking. So we had some roll by the back door. She'd boarded up all the decking. She's used some spare bits of laminate, and it looks like Frankenstein's nightmare in his garden now. But Piper can't get under the decking unless she does some sort of magic act. But yeah, we'll see about that. Watch this space, because she can get where water can't. Yeah, she's ridiculous with it. Bessie literally just stands there and watches her and lets her run circles around her, and that's what she does. So anyway, didn't stick to my rule of 1 on Friday. Ended up getting home from work and running just 2 mile in the evening. Nice and easy, just to get the job done. And then Saturday morning, woke up back at Barnsley parkrun, and I think it's 4th week in a row. Yep, 4th week in a row I've been at Barnsley parkrun now. And then out of the last 6 weeks, I've been there 5 times, breaking only once to go under Frickley, which is another local one. So a bit like Cookie of old. Ended up running 17:15 on my watch and then 17:16 on the gun. So yeah, I enjoyed it. A bit windy, a bit slippery, but that's autumn in Barnsley for you. Ran 4 mile there, I believe. Yeah, 4 mile there. And then went to my mum and dad straight after parkrun. Spent an hour with my mum, me and Naomi and Bessie. Piper stayed at home. And then, yeah, ended up running 5 3/4 miles back down home after we'd been at my mum's an hour. Got the legs walking up again and moving. Ended up bumping into Ryan Copley at parkrun, who were walking his dog, but then again and pushing a broken down car with him around Doddiff Road just because it broke down bang on crossing. So yeah, ended up doing that. So bumped into Ryan twice in one day. And then this morning, ran through to Winterhill, as you caught me this morning, just as I finished my run. Got absolutely soaked, freezing. I was cold when I got there, a bit miserable, but yeah, I got the job done. 15 mile, about 1,100 foot of climb for 15 miles. So yeah, not a bad little training week that I've had. So this week I've done 95 mile, and yeah, enjoyed it. 11 hours 15, so it's nice steady pace. And then 7,800 foot of climb. So then it got me thinking. So looking back on my Strava history, last week 6,200 foot of climb. Week before 7,500 foot of climb for 94 mile. Week before that 88 mile, 6,500 foot of climb, and 6,400 foot of climb. And then it kind of goes along a theme of that. And then when I spent the week in Berlin, I only did 1,400 foot of climb, because obviously Berlin's quite a flat place, a flat bit of world. And then when I go over to Naomi's parents, that's a flat bit of the world as well. And I'm in a fortunate position where I can run over the flat in Beverley and Hornsey when I'm over there, and I can run on the hills because that's the environment that I've been brought up in, and that's the environment I live in. And I'm not talking like altitude hills. So like the Kenyans, the Ethiopians, they're good because they live at altitude. They're born and raised at altitude, and they're put in a position where the body has to recruit more red blood cells, which means obviously they develop more oxygenated blood, and it makes the body more efficient, and faster and stronger. But we're lucky, we're from South Yorkshire. It's a hilly part of England, of the UK. So I'm thinking to myself, what does that have any benefit for us running? And I've always said, like, the hills make you stronger, but they also make you slower. And I've not said that out of known fact or out of scientific research or I've just said it out of my own personal experience. They do make you slower on your training runs, on your easy, like on any sort of run, because it's tough running uphill. That's what it is. But I don't, like, there is no scientific thing whether it does make you slower, like in your race performance. I don't know. So I did a bit of Googling, bit of research, and the general rule, what I've seemed to have found, is hills do make you stronger. They allow your body to adapt. So you recruit different muscle groups when you run on hills. So as you can imagine, your quads, your hamstrings, your calves, you engage your core a little bit more when you're running uphill than you do on the flat. But if you are running on a flat, it means that you can work on your form a bit more, because you have to run like clockwork on the same terrain, on the same distance, on the same gradient. So it does engage your form a little bit more, and you can improve your form. But when you are running uphill and then downhill, some people say that you can recover coming downhill, but then you can also push it a little bit more and work on that speed and opening your legs out when you are going downhill. But what I have found as well from Googling, the hills don't make you faster, but on paper, really, they don't make you slower either. Like, there's no issue with you running on hills. But like, my personal thing, if you want to run fast, like, and you want to be running fast, you need to be running on the flat, because that's where you can actually tailor and grind down and lock into that pace, so you can run fast. And then an issue with running on hills is when you're on your easy runs, it's hard and difficult to take your easy runs easy, so it can hinder your recovery, running on hills all the time, because you might be looking at your watch, or you might be listening to your body and thinking, I'm going way too slow here. So there's always that temptation to push it, but not realising that you are battling against gravity when you are going uphill. So it's about taking them easy on you when you are meant to be going easy runs, and having that purposeful practice in terms of your training. I've always said as well, in terms of running, like, there's no need for me personally to be doing a hill session, because I train on the hills all the time, but I just enjoy them. So that's why I like to sprinkle them in my training, so that I know that on a particular day I've got to attack particular hills, and get the most out of that specific part of my training. And then another thing as well, when you're training to heart rate, so I train to heart rate, I look at my zones, and I can be quite anal with it at times, but your heart rate feels every single climb and every single descent. That's just what happens. That's your body. And if you're in tune with your body, in tune with, well, logic, you'll know that. So it's tuning onto that when you are going uphill, slow down. But then equally, when you are going downhill, you might need to speed up just to get your heart rate high and in the zone, the particular zone that you're looking for. And then you've got to run by effort and feel, and not to the environment. If you've got a session and you've got prescribed paces in your session, knowing that, for example, if your prescribed pace is marathon pace and it's 5:30 you wanted to gain for, which is 2:30 pace, if you're running uphill, like, you might drop a little bit, but equally what goes up must come down, so you might be able to pick it back up on the down. Sometimes you've got to forget about pace and run to effort and feel. And then another benefit that I've always thought, so Bridget Coomber, who's a bit of a local legend, runs for Denby Dale. Did Wargreen 6 years ago. I'm going years ago, and she said to me, "Oh, you're strong uphills, you." So pulling away from her uphill. I think I ran 39 or 40 minutes that year. I was pulling away from her uphill. And she said, "Oh, you're strong on hills." And that makes you think it's because you train on them, you're adapted to them. Your body knows that's your environment. And equally, if I were to run on the flats all the time, I'd be strong, probably grinding out the form on the flats. But yeah, to me, there's all sorts of benefits of running on hills, and I see it as a strength of the environment that I'm in. And then when I do go over to Naomi's parents, and I take that fortunate position of running on the flat over in Beverley, like, equally I enjoy that, but it can be hard work at times, and it can be I don't feel as much benefit personally from running on the flat. But yeah, that were a little bit of a snippet, and yeah, it's just one of them things that I take, and knowing that yes, I live in an environment that is really hilly. Like, compared to other people, I can triple, quadruple their elevation in a 90-100 mile week. But running too fast up them, above all and beyond all, can hinder my recovery. So it's just being mindful of that element when it comes to training, and especially training in hilly environments. I'm talking hilly, just environmentally hilly, not altitude hilly. We are only at tops in Penistone about 1,000 foot above sea level, and then down in Barnsley it's about 500-600 foot above sea level at best. So yeah, just being mindful of, it's not altitude hilly. I'm not going to start getting all the red blood cell count up, but I'm going to build stronger muscles and a stronger, more efficient body. So yeah, that's my snippet. That's Cookie's Rambles done for this week. Hope you've enjoyed it. Next week I've got Doncaster 10k. So yeah, Doncaster 10k. End up entering it midweek, and then I've got Percypud the week after that. Also, quite an interesting meeting about another 10k race that we're looking to organise through work. And yeah, it might begin with B and end in Y, and called the Barnsley 10k. So yeah, watch this space for that. We've got a provisional date and a route plan for it. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. I've organised races in part before, but not solely. So yeah, that'll be an interesting learning curve. Did also get approached about doing a Santa Dash, but yeah, there's not enough time to get that underway. But yeah, that'll be interesting, pulling on everything that I've experienced before through races, and the 900,000 races that I've done prior, to try and put it into a race showcasing our town the best way possible. So yeah, 95 mile week, another week boxed off in the space in between, looking at getting faster some of the shorter stuff. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Quite confident after last week's 5k at York. So yeah, we'll see how I get on in the next couple of weeks at the 10k distance. I do feel I get better as the race goes further, and probably my sweet spot is the half marathon, because yeah, that's where I really thrive with my diesel engine. But yeah, I need to get faster at the short stuff to get faster at the longer stuff, and we all know that. It's common sense, isn't it? So yeah, me and the girls are gonna carry on chilling for the rest of the afternoon. Probably go and wake Naomi up. We'll be upstairs, fast asleep now because she's shattered from cross country this morning. So yeah, cheers for listening to Cookies Rambles this week, and I'll see you next week at Doncaster 10K. Bye.